And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, droids, Kiadi, Mundi, Codes. I'm talking about the extra long Kiadi, Mundi, Codes. You know what you're watching? You're watching Arnold Holonet News. The only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. Look alive, people! It's Monday, which is a new update day for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and well, let's just say we got quite the interesting palette for you guys to digest over today. We have, of course, Syndulla added to the game, actually General Syndulla to be factual. Excited to test her out tomorrow. We got also some facelifts for her. I want to go over some episode track stuff with you guys. New Lightspeed bundles, which are interesting. And what are we missing? Oh yeah, the final requirement for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. So sit back, relax, hit that like button, and I hope you're gonna like what we have today, or maybe they might not like some of the stuff. If you don't like some of the stuff we're gonna go over, don't get mad at me. I'm just a messenger here. I'm just a humble messenger here at AHN. Only do stuff because you have no other choice. Anyways, let's start this party off. General Syndulla has been added to the game. Tomorrow we are gonna be testing her out. Let me tell you, I'm excited. As you can see, we now have a little bit more robust of a Spectre faction here. And let me tell you something. This, I think, is going to be very usable to play around with until we get Galactic Legend Ahsoka, which is going to be happening likely sometime this month. And don't worry, Siege is going to try to help you get to that Galactic Legend Ahsoka with some very interesting Lightspeed bundles. So anyways, that's going to be for tomorrow. I guess side point that's sort of related to this, we have a little bit of facelift to the Syndulla that we have added. Again, they're going more towards the live action look. And, you know, I kind of have mixed feelings towards this. Like, I kind of have an affinity for some of the animated looks of, like, you know, the Bad Batch characters or the Phoenix, or for example, just in general, just the Rebels TV show. I kind of have a, you know, just a little soft spot for them, but I get they're trying to move things towards the more live action route. This looks better, I think. If I had to compare apples to apples here, it looks a little bit better though than the older Hera model, but that older Hera model is, well, a little bit older, I suppose. Anyways, let's get that Hera business out of the way. She will be required though, General Syndulla, that is, for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, and we're finally here. We have the last requirement locked in, and it's kind of as we predicted. Once we saw it in the web store a couple weeks ago, we're like, okay, that's probably gonna be it. Plo Koon required at Relic 8, and of course General Syndulla required at Relic 5. Now, you might be cringing at the Relic 8. Now, luckily, maybe some of you already picked Plo up through the Lightspeed bundle, so it saves you some of the headache having to gear him up yourself the old-fashioned way. Who gears up characters nowadays? Okay, boomers. Oh, besides the point, Relic 8 Plo. You might be cringing a little bit. However, you notice I already have the check mark. I've had, and many other folks out there have had, a Relic 8 Plo Koon locked in for quite a while at this point, for a very good reason. I'm gonna say it's a relic that you probably wouldn't do otherwise unless they forced you to. Relic 8 on Plo is pivotal to really push into those higher levels of power for your negotiator line. Relic 8 Plo allows you to outrun most things in the game to allow you to get that taunt that he provides on his ship. Where is it again? The taunt thing here. Is it this thing right here? Yeah, the spell Aldebos grant them taunt. Being able to put this on the Marauder, kind of a big deal. So I know it's kind of boring. It's not a fun relic, but the Relic 8 makes a very important impact on the speed. But there you go, though. That is the last of the requirements. Finally, they've dragged this on since July of this year. What is the final tally, Gary? Yeah, what are we looking at? 6 marquee units, mostly at Relic 7, 3 Relic 9s, a Relic 8. This ain't what I would call a budget-conscious Galactic Legend. Now the question is, we've been seeing the kits for Hera. We're gonna test out tomorrow. Ezra Bridger, Hu Yang, oh my gosh. And then Sabine still got some stuff that she needs to show us. On paper, before we even look at the kit, there's a lot of stuff cooking in the Spectre kitchen. What's she gonna be adding? I'm assuming we're probably gonna see her kit reveal in the next week or so here. But you know what, with that in mind, let's say you're having some complications. You guys can't get your Relic 9s and these marquees up and running fast enough. Siege is like, listen guys, I got you. Ooh, all right, let's just crack it open. We're gonna go over this other new stuff here in a moment. All right, the new Lightspeed bundle, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids, is gonna be for the grand total of $65, but 5% off if you use the PC client. A single Relic 1 Night Trooper! Why is no one clapping? Why is no one clapping? Clap. Come on. You're going to consume this Lightspeed bundle and you're going to like it, says CG. Now it says Galactic Ahsoka Rush. However, if we look at the data mines, they're calling this a Lightspeed bundle. It would seem like there's two of them. That's just one of them. I got a second one to show you here in a moment. But if you look into their data mine newsletter, it's called Units Included in the Lightspeed Bundle are upgraded. So I'm not sure if these are Lightspeed bundles, even though they say Lightspeed bundles, or are these Galactic Rushes. It's kind of a new thing. I think a lot of you guys can figure that out by yourself. But anyways, Lightspeed bundle, Galactic Rush, whatever you guys want to call it. When are they showing up? I'll share my thoughts in a moment. I'll share my thoughts, but we have one for Captain Enoch and one for Night Trooper, as I just showed. But if you take a look at the data mine for the store, you can see that these Lightspeed bundles, Rush bundles, I don't know, whatever you want to take. They gave us two definitions for it. $64.99 each of them, starting on December 15th, and it's only a 2-day offer, which ends on December 17th. So you can speculate maybe that's when Galactic Ahsoka is going to drop, but I want to remind you, before I share my thoughts, that Enoch and Night Trooper and Death Trooper are required at Relic 7. I know it's been a while. It's been a couple months since we got them. Relic 7, and then where's the other guy? Night Trooper, Relic 7. So, okay, my thoughts. So again, if I'm, they have the Lightspeed bundle messaging inside of the data mine that they have. If this is a Lightspeed bundle, I think we can agree. I know you guys have been watching my trend. I was really hyped when Lightspeed bundles first came out. And even though I still think Lightspeed bundles are the top like 0.5% of offers in this game, and then we have to start splitting hairs within that 0.5%, they're all great, even the ones that I'm not too keen on, because when you just do a simple calculation of Chirotech, gear, the shards, the relic materials, it generally surpasses all the different offerings that they put out there. However, as time goes on, when I focus on those top offers, it's like, man, I feel like we're kind of degrading the point of a Lightspeed bundle, the value of Lightspeed bundles. They started really high and they've been going low from there on out. Well, if we're putting this in the Lightspeed bundle like the data mine messaging would suggest, I mean, it's just plain and simple. This is, let me show you the other one. I forgot. We have Galactic Legend Ahsoka Rush 1, and here's 2. Both of them, only one character each, $65 each. And here's the problem that I have. Now I'm going to put on my hat that like tells me, okay, well, why don't you do the calculation, Arnold? How much money did I spend to just get one of these Imperial Remnant clowns up running? Sorry, they're not clowns. I actually like the Remnants quite a lot. Well, keep in mind, day one, like I feel like this is going to be almost a lose-lose. I'm building up to that. Let me just preface this. I think it's a lose-lose. Let me focus on the people who spent money. If I spent, idiotically, I don't recommend anyone day one buy a character outright. It doesn't make sense for the economy of this game. I spent, what was it, $300 some between day one, just marquee packs right away, all the relics and gear. $65. Let me tell you this, if I'm doing a day one character, I would much rather have spent $65. So I feel like for those that bought the character a few months ago, whether you did it, the day one way like I did, or you kind of did the smart way where you did the marquee event for a whole week and then you probably spent about $100 less, so somewhere in the $200 ballpark is what you spent. I'm sure you guys would have rather spent the $65. But then I look on the other side, where people that want Lightspeed, they want the ones of good value. They want the $10, the $15, maybe a $20, and then we're kind of pushing it at that point. Once we go to $30, $40, $50, so $65 is probably much more than the average Lightspeed wants to spend. And that's, again, I'm making some grand assumptions here. But again, if you look at how much it costs day one to get them up and running, even though it's not taking you to Relic 8, it's a lot. You're saving, what is it, $140? But if you buy it this way. But the thing is, when you start looking outside, what can you do with $60? You could buy a pretty decent quality game nowadays with that. Where here, you're only getting one character, and it's not that great by itself, and you still need to get 6 more additional relics to get it to the Galactic Legend requirement. People, I'm like, the Lightspeed have been playing with me emotionally. I like the concept of them, but I feel like we're farther and farther and farther away from the core concept where $10, we're going to get you a really good faction, get you up and running, get you to bare minimums. You still got to do Zetas and some Omicrons and stuff like that. I say this is for the people that want to unlock Galactic Legend Ahsoka day one, and you're missing out on these two. But again, keep in mind, just buying these two is not going to solve your problems. You still need to get Death Trooper Peridia just from that hemisphere, the Imperial Remnant stuff. And then you got to get up and running General Syndulla, Hu Yang, Padawan Sabine Wren. That's another 3 marquee units. So I think chances are you don't have the more recent stuff here. The General Syndulla, Padawan Sabine, Hu Yang. I think that's going to be a problem for more people than the Imperial Remnant stuff out there. If this maybe included Death Trooper Peridia, Enoch, and Night Trooper in one bundle, I think even though it'd still be more expensive, the justification at least is increased a little bit more. So I'm curious if people are going to buy this. We're not going to really know the data, but I think it's kind of a miss. It feels like a miss for people who spent the money and people who didn't spend the money. And it's also kind of a miss because I think it's more of the recent characters that are more of a problem than the ones of a couple months ago. Anyways, you know, you guys let me know. You guys let me know. Lightspeed has also been an interesting conversation. I've been reading your comments, and it seems like most agree with me where, yeah, I could see why you're not appreciating these newer Lightspeed bundles as much. We're kind of straying away from it. But again, I would rather buy this than some of the other offers. There's not a lot of good offers in this game, which is why Lightspeed bundles are kind of appealing. Anyways, that's a long-winded conversation we had on this here weird Lightspeed bundles lately. And again, I'm hoping they can clarify. Are Galactic Rushes different from Lightspeed bundles? Again, their definitions and the data mines say otherwise. Okay, we got a few more things we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about the episode currency stuff. If you check Yo inboxes, people, they told us a couple updates ago. It was the closest we're going to get to we kind of screwed up a message where, let's just say that not Lightspeed bundles, boy, it's on my mind. Let's just say that the episode track stuff has been inconvenient. It's been hot in a bad way. It's been spicy. It's been a lot of drama for all of our Gungan mamas out there. They said they're going to give us a bunch of episode currency to kind of supplement the bad release of this. So if you check your inbox, you'll see customer support has given you 28,000 of this currency here. And I think one of the biggest problems is some of the recent Galactic challenges that launched with it, with the, what was it, Tuskens and Jawas, and it was not a good batch of Galactic challenges to release. And of course, there's also the added issue where if you guys didn't spend money, well, guess what? You're gonna be missing out on the marquee tier, and you're missing out on the episode pass tier. Needless to say, didn't go over well with me and a lot of other folks out there. So I don't know if they're going to make a more permanent change, but I can at least appreciate that they're putting a temporary band-aid on the situation. So if you got massively screwed with the recent things, like my free-to-play account couldn't really max out the Jawa or the Tusken stuff that we had a while ago, this is going to help, you know, kind of compensate for that. But again, I'm curious to see what they're planning on doing for the long run. And while we're here, before we kind of move on, I want to kind of go over just, you know, my comparison of my free-to-play account and my endgame encounter. So as I said, I've been running it to the max of both of my accounts to really see before and after difference. And we're going to talk about an odd problem with the episode pass. I kind of already said this a while ago, but we're going to emphasize it again. I've done everything on both accounts that I could. We've done all the daily quests, never missed a day. I've done all the episode quests that I could on both accounts. Obviously, the main account will be able to do all the character quests, where the free-to-play account will not. And on the main account, I've done all the Galactic challenges except the last Jawa one. I didn't do the final top tier, but I did all the latter ones for the Java related stuff. And as you can see, I am at level 43 on the main account. Yeah, not free to play on this one. And then on the free to play account, again, I've done all the daily quests, never missed a daily. I've done all the episode quests that I could without having to buy the episode pass. And then I've also not been able to do the character quests. Yeah, just said some basically impossible to do here, except that, yeah, you can't do anything. and I've done basically all the Galactic challenges that I can, but I got massively screwed on the past few ones that we've had here. And I am currently at, what is it again? I'm at level 23. So basically, by buying the character and buying the episode pass, I'm more or less double the progress at 20 levels ahead here. And that's kind of really shown the disparity between all this. But again, they're going to give us a bunch of episode currency to kind of supplement for that. Episode pass is really weird, or the episode track, I should say. I wonder if they're going to do anything else. They've heard tons and tons of feedback on both the pass plus itself, as well as the free track. I could just say that it just doesn't really feel good. On the free-to-play account, I feel like I'm barely keeping up with Omicrons. Like, as you can see before, claiming what the support gave me, like, it feels like I'm barely just able to pick up my Omicrons in the shipment to make sure I'm staying on track. We've broken down the math on how to keep up with the rewards you had previously. Maybe I pick up a little bit of Kyro Attack, and I feel like I don't really have a surplus working with. It just doesn't feel nearly as good, you know? And plus, everything just seems so expensive as well. So again, we ran through the math and all that before. I don't want to get too much into it, but I can say on the free-to-play account, just doesn't feel good. It just feels like I'm barely eking into the Omicron that's going to reset in the next, couple hours here. Main account faces a different issue. If you're buying the episode pass, you're going to find yourself in a situation where the currency cap feels way too low. It's like, wow, it's two whole different worlds here, people, where it feels like I got to spend... Like I'm actually at the point where I don't know if I want to buy this episode pass again. I know I only bought the first month to do a before and after comparison between the two accounts, but I'm at a point where I picked up my Omicrons, I picked up my Karatech, I picked up a decent mod that might slice into something good. But at this point, again, it's going to vary for everyone. I feel like I'm kind of just picking up stuff that I don't really need, just so I don't hit the cap here. So I maybe pick up some of those, or I pick up some of these here. So it's like it's a two whole world of problems. One feels like it's not getting enough, and one seems like it's getting too much, where I feel like I'm just wasting resources at this point. So I'm wondering if they can maybe lift this cap. They've been really hard on these episode currency caps, and I just feel like I'm at the point where I'm just buying stuff that I don't really need inside of my roster, so I can pick these up without feeling any sort of, side effect of, and I'm still gonna buy some more stuff that I don't need. So biggest problem, and again, I've said before, if you're buying the episode pass just from the rewards itself, not even look at the episode currency, it's well worth the value. In-game value, let me mind you, real world varies per person, but in-game value, it definitely supersedes what it has. And I don't know if I'd recommend getting this, the $18.90, the bonus one, but the $20 one, the starter one, it's got the value there. But again, we have kind of a problem with the episode currency stuff. And lastly, people, few update notes here. So with the updates, we have a few things here. We have Marak Farmable on Lightside 8A. We have General Syndulla starts tomorrow. Padawan Sabine Rans and the Chromium packs, as well as the shipments. I believe as well, someone became accelerated. Let me double check here real quick. Padawan Sabine, Marak is farmable. Okay, I thought there was something accelerated. My bad. Anyways, we also have the update. They also said they're going to be adjusting points for Galactic Challenge feats and daily quests to hopefully compensate for that bad feeling that I said on the free-to-play account. Again, we'll have to see the impact of all that as well. Now we have a few things here that I want to get on your radar. The most important thing is they put the squad arena currency that was missing back into the daily chest rewards. Hey, they addressed that. Hey, all right. And you'll see there's an additional customer support thing that gives you some stuff that was missing, basically. So there's your extra squad arena currency and whatnot. Again, not an end of the world situation for me, but squad arena currency, that bonus stuff, is kind of important to get prestige mats for earlier game accounts out there. Now, funny enough, they said the Executrix event is fixed. I want to put this on CG's radar again. As far as I'm aware, the staff of me, myself, and I have not seen any confirmation of the broken scythe that they busted with the recent update, where basically the scythe is next to useless. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And it's an expensive conquest ship that's just not able to get the job done. It's supposed to be able to mark TIE fighters that are on the field. It doesn't anymore. What's the point of it if I can't get the mark on anymore? It gets blitzed down so quickly and it dies. And unfortunately, I've seen no confirmation. Can you guys at least acknowledge it? I don't know if there's a ticket out there. They've confirmed it. It's not a good feeling that stuff like that's ignored. A very important ship, and you guys destroyed the fleet meta. It's a mess right now. Can you at least say, hey, we acknowledge the scythe is broken at the very minimum, right? It's not that hard. Fine, don't acknowledge how Leviathan feels bad and all the other, the Chimera mess ups that you guys did, but this at the minimum is factually needs to get fixed. At the very minimum, just say, hey, we know, and then take your 1 year to fix it, like you guys like to do over there. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for today's AHN on all the Holonet news. Sign up for your Grand Arena. Grand Arena sign up has begun. I'm excited to get into 5v5, test out some more Balin Skull this season, and stay tuned for tomorrow, where General Syndulla is gonna be in our video game division. We're gonna be tested, all right? And of course, later on this week, we're gonna have some updates to the Zetas, Omicron's ranking, team ranking, a lot of stuff that we have ahead of ourselves. And that's why when I'm with you guys, it always makes me want to say how it's great to be in the Empire today.